Channel and Dahlberg. My name is Ishvara and today I want to talk to you people about some things that will now happen on your earth. The first thing that happens is that there will be a great awakening on earth, an awakening that affects everyone in many different ways. This happens continuously in a shorter or longer perspective. The shorter perspective means that the people who have come some way in their awakening are pushing forward a new development on earth. A development that takes a completely different direction than the one you are currently in. This can lead to major changes in your society, but also some contradictions because those who have governed according to the old system have difficulty letting it go. However, they will have to do that because that system is cracking at the joints and is no longer getting the nutrition needed to sustain it. People today are generally suspicious of politicians and companies that profit at the expense of others. There is grumbling in the ranks and many people welcome a new way of thinking that feels more fair to both people, animals, and nature. Their compassion has grown so that they no longer want to subject themselves or other people to the suffering that they see happening everywhere in your world today. It also means that the economic system that exists in your world today will change so that more countries and people can share in the abundance that can now only be used by a few. My dear friends, this may feel a little uncertain and anxious, but instead it will be better for each of you. Society will also be restructured as the awareness of the common man increases. You yourself will find a system that suits you better and you will get the necessary conditions, when you become warmer in your clothes and get the right leadership within you. The individual development takes place in parallel with the global one, but individually you can be both ahead and behind the usual order that takes place in your society or in your country. As I said, the awakening takes place on different levels and the awareness and change in your society requires a certain number of individuals for it to have any impact. However, the number does not have to be that large before any change occurs, and it causes more people to change their own perspective on what feels most right for them, and their path to awakening has now begun to gain momentum. The awakening to yourself, who you are deep down, and your own individual freedom to develop and choose the path that feels right for you. You are meant to control your own life and not let others control you. This means, of course, that you have reached a certain awareness and compassion, so that you do not run over others but give them the same freedom that you have yourself. It is a giving and a taking that applies where neither people, animals, nor nature are harmed, but everything that is done with a good intention that can also benefit others. It is the first part of the development that will take place on Earth, and it will lead to even greater changes within an increasingly short perspective as more people wake up and contribute their straw to the stack. It will be in a larger and collective field that you will then work in, which in turn will give you greater changes in consciousness, and your world will no longer be the same. Instead, you will find yourself in a new world with other possibilities and a new way of life, which is completely different from the world and the way of life that you are now used to. It is an exciting time before you, dear friends, and I look forward with confidence to the day when your world is ruled by only loving people, who look to the whole, the human collective, and where a division can no longer be discerned. You are all heading towards the same goal, dear friends, and that goal is not as far away as you may sometimes think. It is already there, and it is up to you to discover it. Great love, Ishvara.